The first weapon guide I'm putting out is for the M4A1. You unlock it early, it's one of the most reliable weapons in the game, and I love it. It's solid, easy to use, lethal, but it also has a surprising amount of depth once you start building around it. I've done a lot of testing, and what I want to do with these guides is a little bit different. Instead of just showing you a single best loadout, I'm going to be breaking down how the weapon actually works, how its damage changes over range, the correct attachments for your input. Like, controller players are going to want something completely different than M&K. And just overall, why different setups make sense depending on your playstyle and the input that you use. So whether you're on controller or mouse and keyboard, whether you like to rush or play from range, I have some tuned loadouts that you can adapt for yourself. Some of the setups are going to have some wiggle room. I'll show you where that is, but the goal is to make sure that you understand the why behind the build. What's going on, how the devs actually set some of these systems up, which some of them are very clever, and I want you to take that knowledge and apply it across the game. So if that sounds like it's up your alley, remember to like, sub, and share so you don't miss the rest of the guides coming out. I've done a lot of testing before rolling these guides out, so the perfect attachment setup isn't universal. It's going to change based on what you want to do with it, the type of player you are, the input method. Also note, weapons don't need to be max rank at all. Like the M4, later stages of a weapon unlock, a lot of its preference may be a thermal 3x zoom. A lot of players aren't going to use that, but if you do, go for it. It's just going to be unlocked later on. The M4A1's a 900 RPM carbine. Deals 25 to the body, has the base 1.34 crit multiplier, meaning it deals 34 to the head in its optimal base range. And so we're clear, this is one of the fastest TTKs in the game. They're all fast, but this is just even that much faster. The base 4-shot body TTK is 0.2 seconds. It can do a 3-shot headshot, 0.13 seconds. So when you get on someone up close with the M4 carbine, it's just the snap of a finger. It's potent, very lethal. But what is that optimal range? Here's how it experiences damage drop off. And in Battlefield 6, once it starts fall off, a new set of numbers take effect, and they'll stay that way until the next drop off. So like their drop off zones. It's clever, I like how they did it. So to get the crisp 4-shot body or 3-shot headshot, the optimal base range for the M4 is 9.5 meters and in, and that is close, very close. Closer than you think. The moment that you're over 9.5 meters, it hits its first stage of fall off. The damage drops to 21 to the body, 29 to the crit, and it's going to stay with these numbers all the way up to 21 meters. In this zone, it's now a 5-shot body shot and a 4-shot headshot. So the body TTK is 0.26, the crit is 0.2. Then the next stage, 21 meters to 36.5, it does 18 to the body, 24 to the crit. Now it's a 6-shot body, a 5-shot headshot. The body TTK is 0.33 seconds, headshot 0.26. And again, keep in mind, whenever it's in the stage of the fall off, whatever zone it's in, it just deals that damage. It doesn't go up or down. It just stays until it goes to the zone behind it or in front of it. Then we have the next zone. It's 36.5 meters to 75. So it keeps this damage a long distance. It's 17 to the body and 22 to the crit. It's the same deal. It's a 6-shot body, 5-shot headshot. And then we have what we're going to call the damage floor. Past this point, 75 meters, you're just going to be seeing this number for a long time, like 75 to 200 meters. 14 to the body, 19 to the crit. An 8-shot body shot, a 6-shot headshot. TTK wise, 0.46 to the body, 0.33 to the head. And what they've done here is as you drop off into each stage, it basically adds a bullet to the time to kill. So it starts off as a 4-shot body shot, next zone, 5-shot, next zone, 6-shot, and so on. And past 75 meters, you're rarely doing that with the M4, and I'm going to be adding to this chart later. There's still some more things to know. And each weapon's going to have their own chart like this, where their damage drop off begins, what the damage goes to. They're all going to be different. They all have different ways of going about it, but this is the M4A1's range chart. Next, I'm going to get into some attachments, but first, the inputs. Controller gets about 25% less recoil than mouse and keyboard, just off the rip. On the left is M&K, and on the right is controller. And it's not that big of a deal because mouse can control that. M&K players aren't worried about it. And in no way is it an advantage for a controller. It's just more so controller players can keep their shots on target. But because it's like this and how attachments can change things, you're going to want different attachments for the input. I'm not going to be going through every single attachment. That's not the goal here today, but I do need to explain some things to you on some core attachments, what they're doing. I want you to know a starting point for every weapon that you use, and then we'll start going into setups. First, the muzzle. The suppressors do what the suppressors do. Read each one, some have penalties, some have advantages. I don't have any stealth builds today, but if you do want a stealth build, add a suppressor and you're going to make room for it elsewhere because the attachment tree is a total of 100 points. So if you pick one of these 30-point suppressors, you're going to have to make some changes on the weapon somewhere else to make it happen. But then we have 3 main options: a flash hider, brakes, and then a converter. The flash hider is just a good muzzle. period. It fully hides in-world spotting and reduces the range where a soldier is spotted on the minimap while firing. So there's no negatives, only positives. Then we have 3 different kinds of brakes and a converter. What these do is they shape your starting recoil pattern. Basically, down the gun, down the line, other attachments are enhancing what you've done here. The base recoil pattern trails up into the top right, meaning at base, to compensate, you pull down to the bottom left. Technically, you hold down and then start moving it to the bottom left to level it out and make it go straight. With the brakes, we have one that costs 5 points, 10 points, and 20. The first one, the single point brake that costs 5, it adds about a 25% horizontal recoil reduction. That is really good. That is great, actually. Meaning it's pulling that recoil in, making it more vertical overall. That trail that it does at the end, it's tightening it all up. But with this one, there's a penalty, and I hate it. It increases weapon sway. So this alone has me staying away from it when I can. It means while you're aiming, it's going to be swaying faster. Then we have the double port brake. Improved brake that reduces recoil. Soldiers firing will be spotted, marking their position and world on the minimap. So this also gives about a 25% horizontal recoil reduction. So it's not going left and right as much. It's keeping it more vertical. It's the same as the other brake, but it doesn't have the penalty. Then we have the most expensive brake, the compensated brake. Enhanced brake that minimizes recoil buildup and improves recoil recovery. This adds about a 20% reduction in horizontal and vertical recoil. It's a really good muzzle. I'm going to come back to this. Finally is the converter. Reduced horizontal recoil in favor of more stable vertical recoil. It results in about a 35% reduction in horizontal recoil only. But as you can see, it takes away some of the control stat, meaning it actually goes a little bit higher vertically, but it's massively taking away the deviance of it going left and right. And what this means, I'll bring up the muzzle screen, I have an H, an H+, an H++, and a V. This is how it's helping recoil. And the S obviously means suppression. So for controller players, the best muzzle for you is actually the 20-point compensated brake, if you can swing it, obviously. Because not only do you get the universal 25% reduction in recoil versus M&K, now you're reducing both horizontal and vertical recoil even more. 20% each one. So it's your best bet for a lot of weapons if you're doing a precision build. M&K players, since you have a lot more control, the converter is a top option. It almost takes out horizontal recoil completely, meaning you just focus on steady aim holding it down. Otherwise, for M&K, we have the 10-point, or you can go overboard with a compensated brake. Both aren't bad, but keep all this in mind. Next, the ammunition. For this guide and a lot of upcoming guides, I am a firm believer in hollow point rounds. Standard penetration ammunition with slightly improved headshot damage. It brings the headshot multiplier from 1.34 to 1.5. Let's go back to that range chart. And adding in hollow point rounds, here's how that works. When you take whatever the time to kill is, let's say 9.5 to 21 meters is 21. Actually, even better, let's do 36.5 to 75 meters. In this range, it deals 17 body, but with a 1.5 times multiplier, it deals 25.5 to the head, meaning with hollow points, up to 75 meters with the M4, you can get a 4-shot headshot. You might be thinking, why is that important? Especially at this distance. It's because of the RPM, 900. When you feather it, when you tap fire at a distance, and that's resetting your accuracy and making it more pinpoint. With those tap fires, you're throwing out 2-3 rounds, very, very fast. It's 900 RPM. If a cluster of bullets land, like boom, boom on the head, immediately 50 damage. Do it again, 50 damage, they're down. I'm a big believer in hollow points. I have it on most of the loadouts, not all of them, but hollow points on the M4 makes a world of difference. A 4-shot headshot, 75 meters and in. It does a 3-shot headshot, 9.5 meters and in. You're gonna have 4, 5, or 6-shot body shot TTKs on the distances. Now let's get into builds, and I have 3 of them to start you on, and you can make them your own along the way. The first setup, the first build, is arguably the best, really. This is a close quarters combat rush setup. I want to reiterate, it's base TTK of 0.2 seconds, 9.5 meters in, 4-shot body shot. To put that into perspective, this is the base body TTKs of all the submachine guns in Battlefield 6, with the M4A1 included. The only thing that just outright beats it is the KV-9, but all other SMGs, and honestly, all weapons for the most part that just don't flat out one-shot you like a shotgun, the M4 beats. It is so lethal up close. So let's build into that and build into it heavily. This is going to be for both M&K and controller. First, we start with the 20-point 50 MW green laser. Provides moderate improvement to hipfire accuracy at the cost of visibility to enemy soldiers. Only works while the laser's on. This brings the base hipfire from 46 to 71. And this green laser is tied with the blue laser for the biggest hipfire bump. The difference between them, the blue laser costs more because it adds a benefit of a minor improvement to ADS accuracy while moving. We're not worried about that. We just want the big hipfire bump. From there, we put on the flashlight. Not only does it just plainly suck to go against a flashlight, but we also get a big advantage that no other attachments give. It's a minor improvement to hipfire recovery. And that's something about the flashlight you need to consider for all your weapons, that it does this. It doesn't bloom out as much when you're hipfiring, and it settles back faster. It's a really, really good hipfire attachment. Then we move to the barrel, the short barrel. Unfortunately, this reduces projectile velocity, but we're going to be close quarters with this thing. We want to be rushing around. With a short barrel, it improves hipfire accuracy. Also gives you a faster transition to aim down sights. With the green laser, the flashlight, and the short barrel, our hipfire stats at 88. Pretty much almost doubling the hipfire stat. We went from 46 to 88. For the underbarrel, the 25 cost slim angled. This helps the recoil stat, the control stat. It improves your draw speed, so if you need to bring out the M4 to hip fire, and a faster transition to aim down sights. This also adds to the mobility stat, and the mobility stat is your movement speed and accuracy while aiming, and your speed, like when you're shooting while aiming down sights. For the ammunition, lightweight. This improves ADS as well and gets that mobility stat up. And we're building this thing in such a way that in close quarters, we can hip fire very reliably, but we're gonna have a very snappy aim down sights when we need to. For the muzzle controller, you can go double port break. That's the best one. M&K, you can keep that or go converter. For this setup, a basic sight, meaning the iron sights. More on this as I talk about the build. It has the standard 30 round mag. If you want to change things like add a sight, you have to take something away. Like maybe bump down the break from 20 to the 10 break, or maybe bump the 25 point angled underbarrel to the 15 angled. That way you can add a sight or maybe the 36 round magazine. But in the end, with how I have it set up, it's an 88 hipfire stat, 27 precision, 45 control, 68 mobility with an iron sight. And I am telling you, this is fun. It is really, really fun. It's purely building into the strength of its lethal up close range TTK. You're going to be using hipfire, and in these ranges, all you need to do is land 4 bullets. Remember that. And with how the RPM works, you flat out down them before they can down you, period. And since you're hip firing, since you have heavy attachments into it, if you're in sprint, you just hip fire out of sprint, and it's always going to be faster than someone that has 2 ADS out of sprint. So you just get to jump on them even faster. If you need to turn around and hip fire, do it. It's what it's set up for. It's what it's designed to do. It's designed to hold buildings, to rush into buildings. You're not going to be getting into 40+ meter duels. That's not what this thing is about. You can 30 meters and out, 35, you're going to have to tap fire it and feather it because it's going to be jumpy. It's going to have a lot of bloom. It still can perform, absolutely, but it's for hip fire. And in all these situations with how this is set up with that angled grip and the ammunition and all these little bumps to helping its aim down sights, it can go ADS very fast when you need to. It is very snappy, in and out of aim down sights. This legitimately performs like an SMG. You aren't worried about crit damage like the hollow points. You're worried about melting 9.5 meters and in. That's what you're doing here. And again, this is just the base, make it your own. I've tried a ton of different attachment combinations, but this group really works well together. The angled, all that. Give it a shot. Next is pure precision control, leaning more into the precision stat, into the control stat, because the M4 is a really good mid-range weapon. It is, even tap firing longer than that, long range. So as a mid-range weapon, for normal dueling, you want your shots on target. You want easy to control recoil and a nice group spread. And for this one, I do have some universal things. You're going to have a sight, the choice is yours, the extended barrel, and the hollow point rounds. This is already 50 of 100, half of your attachment points. And again, the hollow points, I'm a big believer in them, but if you don't want to use them, that just means you get to add to attachments elsewhere. And the extended barrel gives you the most bullet velocity, so it helps you with mid-range and longer ranges. Starting with M&K, I use the converter for the muzzle. Again, M&K can control it a lot easier. The classic vertical on the underbarrel and a 30 round fast mag. This gives you pretty much vertical recoil, adding in the converter. And the classic vertical underbarrel is the best stat for both precision and control, bloom and recoil. In my previous video, went over how bloom worked and how the precision and control stat acts on it. Now, if you want to use iron sights, that means you can add more to it, maybe a 36 round mag, whatever, or do a 30 round mag with an even better break, or the best break option, I should say. And this is just an all around close mid and even far range dueling. It's for better group shots, fastest bullet velocity. And the M4 does quite well. Controller for a precision control build, it starts with the compensated brake. We talked about it earlier in the guide. And then you're going to be adding the 6H64 vertical. So that brake is a big help to just overall recoil. You're getting some control and precision help from that underbarrel. You're also going to do extended barrel for velocity, a sight of choice, and the hollow point rounds. And again, controller M and K, you can take off the hollow point. That way you can up another attachment, maybe a 10-point break to the 20 or a 25 underbarrel to a 35. And overall, you're using the M4 like a regular carbine or regular AR, but remember, it does have that benefit of 25 base damage, 900 RPM. The cord is 900 RPM. I'm going to be doing a guide on that later on, but it's got 20 base damage. It's a little bit easier to control, but the M4 excels at getting bullets down range that do really good damage. And building it like this is keeping those shots grouped together, the recoil staying tight. It works when you go all in with precision control, but the last setup is a hybrid. And honestly, if I'm not going the full close quarters hip fire like the very first one that we talked about, I prefer using this over the pure control precision setup, because the M4 is best up close. I mean, it just is. It can be dominant, but you do also want to duel better and more comfortably at mid-range. So setting it up like this is going to bring out some of its strength, but not going all in. It starts with the 5 MW green laser. It's the cheapest one. Now, this gives you a massive hipfire benefit, even though it's the cheapest one. It takes the hipfire stat from 46 to 62, and from here, the hollow points for consistent high damage crits, 75 meters and in, and then your sight of choice. Extended barrel for the bullet velocity. Controller's going to go compensated brake with a ribbed vertical. In this way, controller gets its best muzzle, the second best all-around underbarrel for precision and control, and has hipfire capabilities. You're able to use it up close more reliably than not having that laser, but it still does extremely well in mid-range. Way better than the pure hipfire one. And for M&K, all that can stay the same or make the muzzle a converter. You can step up the underbarrel as far as vertical grip. You could add in a larger mag if you want. If you guys want to ditch the sight, again, you can just add more to the weapon. But the first one, it's all close range hipfire. You want to keep it 30 meters and in because the M4, it's incredible within that range. The control build makes it the most reliable it can possibly be in mid-range and even long range. But the hybrid gets about half of both. It's not as accurate with its hipfire, but still hipfires very, very well. And it's not all the way precision control, but it still lands shots way better than not having all that. So there's two extremes in the in-between. And another important tip, if you do run that close quarters hipfire build, I keep talking about 30 meters and in because in a lot of your gunfights, you're going to be tap firing in even mid-range engagements. You're going to feather it, reset the accuracy. Because if you hold down the trigger, it's going to get away from you and the bloom is going to be horrible because you haven't built into it. The other ones, you can reliably hold down the trigger up to about 35 meters. Past that, you're going to lean more to feathering. Today was all about learning the M4A1, what it does best, and hopefully helping you find your best build. Only you know how you like to play. Use guides like this one, ones that you come across on Reddit, other YouTube videos. Take that input, gather as much information as you can, then tune the weapon to your style. This isn't about chasing a broken setup. It's not about finding a cheat code. It's about putting a weapon in your hands that amplifies what you already do well. A weapon that elevates what you do best, and hopefully this guide helps you out with that. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Let's talk about the M4A1 down below. What do you think about it compared to other weapons? And as always, share any tips that you have. Help each other out. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.